If your team is struggling, it's probably not your strategy. It's most probably because of you. Most of the leaders are pretty strong when it comes to intelligence, when it comes to strategy, when it comes to having the right work ethics. But what most of us are either lack and escape, or we definitely can get better at it, is those emotional skills. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 5 emotional skills that most of leaders escape. And also, I'm going to give you one simple practice that you can start right away and get better at those specific skills. Skill number 1, self-awareness, the autopilot trap. Most people think that they're self-aware, but usually we're just confident. And confidence is not equal self-awareness. Self-awareness is really when you notice your feelings in real time. And that's the first domino. It has such a domino effect. If you don't recognize it, then you can't regulate it. Then it's going to start impacting your day inside and outside of work. So you want to make sure that you really focus on your self-awareness before anything else. A simple practice to do it is that, and you can do it for every single meeting that you want to step into, but for the start, I suggest maybe just look at your calendar every day and identify 1 or 2 high-stake meetings. And right before going to that meeting, just pause the 5 minutes before the meeting and just try to identify the emotions that you have. Is this an escalation meeting and you're super annoyed at someone? Is this a meeting when you're going to present something for your boss and you're really nervous? Like, what's that feeling that you have? And then how that feeling could impact your presentation, your decisions, your relationships in that meeting. Just knowing that you're going in with those emotions is going to help you to control and regulate yourself a little bit. And the second piece to this, which is really key, is that at the end of the day, journal. Now, if you're not a journal person, that's fine. But at least just write 2 sentences, and you have to write it either in a digital app, just in a Google Doc, or in a piece of paper. You need to write it down because you want to track it for a month. And the 2 things that you want to, that 2 sentences is basically, when was during your day that you felt high? So that could be when you felt really accomplished or really happy, really proud of something. And you write it down. And the second one is that when you felt low, which is when you felt your energy was draining or your emotions were low or you got really frustrated. You'd be surprised when you track this for a month of the patterns that you can identify. For me, my high, I found out that it's when right before work, I do workout and I take shower. And the combination of these 2, it just makes my day so much better. It puts me in the right mood and emotions, and it's such a good emotion regulator for me. Skill 2, self-regulation, the pause button. Now that you identified your feeling, you want to make sure that how you're going to act on that feeling. When it comes to emotions, they're out of your control. They will come as they desire, and there is no good or bad feeling. Actions, on the other hand, is exactly what you have control over, and there are certainly good versus bad actions. So the way that you want to manage your action is to create a time gap as much as possible. So let's say you're in a meeting, it's a high-stake meeting, you absolutely have no luxury of time to, let's say, tell them that you're going to come back to them. You have to answer right there. Instead of answering the moment you hear something that frustrates you, try to pause, even if it's for a few seconds. Try to lower your heart rate and then answer. That could be just a few seconds. In most of the meetings, though, you would have the luxury to say, that's a great point. Let me take this away and I'll get back to you on that. That would give you a gap to really try to understand where they're coming from and then go back with a polished action. When it comes to emails, I try to pause 10 minutes when I receive an emotional email. And sometimes I even write my email with full on emotion, but I don't send it out. I'll wait, I'll do my other things and meetings and emails, and then I go back, delete everything, and then I answer something that's polished, and I'm not going to regret the answer. Skill number 3, empathy, your hidden profit center. Most of leaders don't focus on empathy because they think empathy means softness, or it means being too nice, or it means spending hours and hours chit-chatting with employees. But that's really not the case. Empathy means that you really try to listen to a person through active listening and understand what they're really trying to say, let them to solve the problem instead of jumping to solutioning for them, and really giving them that time and a space. So as an example, if someone comes to you with a problem, you can leverage one of the 2 techniques, either mirroring or labeling. You can repeat the last 2 to 3 words that they say. So they say, we have too many meetings, they have too many meetings, and then let them to elaborate more, or you can label it with their emotions. It sounds that you're frustrated, and let them again to talk more about it. And that helps them to not just bring problems to you, but they start solving the problems, which really helps with their authority, problem solving, all of those good things. But also it creates an emotional safety that the team feels that they're being seen and they're being heard, which really directly equals less voluntary turnover. Skill number 4, internal motivation, how to build your own engine. When it comes to motivation, there has to be a fuel to keep you motivated, to keep you going. Most of the leaders rely on what I call dirty fuel, which is really those external pressures such as deadlines, those quarterly targets, those year-end conversations. The other one is what I call clean fuel, which is your internal motivation. And the challenge with those external motivation is that it usually ends up making you feel burnout, while those clean ones really keeps you going because now you have a purpose and a why behind what you're doing. Internal motivation really comes from 2 main factors. One is when we feel that we have a choice, which is more around autonomy. And the second one is when we can see that we're getting better, which is that progress part. So here's an easy practice to create that internal motivation. The first step is the choice reframe. Take a look at your calendar and find one or two tasks that they're really draining energy from you. So as an example, one could be submit budget, which is pretty boring for most of leaders, and rename it in your to-do list to say secure resources so my team can win. Or you could have weekly report. Instead, you can say showcase my team's strengths and accomplishment for this week. So you're completely changing the way that your brain are looking into this, and you're fooling your brain to feel that you don't have an obligation to do something, you have a choice. There is a why and a purpose behind what you do. The second step is a progress loop. And that happens when you really try to write down just 3 small wins every night. Think about things such as I cleared my inbox. It could be as small as that. Or it could be that I handled that escalation well. But when you write it down, that signals your brain something amazing. And that releases dopamine. And that dopamine is one of the best fuels that can keep you going. Skill 5, relationship management, the glue. Relationship management is where the rubber meets the road. It's how you handle conflict and how you build trust. And a simple practice for it is always remember to recognize publicly, but correct privately. And it could be for your team or it could be for your peers and stakeholders. When you're in a meeting and someone says something that's not really correct, and you want to jump in and correct them in front of everyone and make them to feel embarrassed, which then result in them resenting you for a very long time probably. Instead, just take it offline with them, talk to them, try to help them with their understanding. And that would really make people feel that you're collaborating with them, that you have their back, instead of feeling that you're going after them. Most leaders skip one of these 5 skills because they feel intangible, but they're also the foundation of what makes a good manager versus a great leader. And if you want to learn more on active listening and different techniques, watch this video next.